You're back on the air with Eric and Robin Gagnon, the restaurant brokers, and today we have one of the industry greats, Jim Sullivan from Sullivan, on the air. Remember, We Sell Restaurants operates the largest restaurant brokerage company in the nation based on the number of listings, transaction count, and volume. We are franchising nationwide and have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia.
Jim, we've been talking for a little while. You've been giving great insight to restaurant owners, people who want to be in the restaurant industry or everything. But, you listening to you make it look simple, make it feel simple. But, a lot of people will say, hey, this is a very challenging industry. So what makes this industry so challenging?
Number one, there's more ways to lose money than there is to make money in the restaurant business. All right.
That is so true.
It is extremely challenging. Secondly, you both manage and serve a Freudian smorgasbord of personalities. You have, if you think about it, you have people who want that career, who just want that car, who can't wait to get off at 9 o'clock to meet their friends, or who really enjoy the nuances and subtleties of understanding the food service industry. And then you have customers who demand a lot or demand a little, and you never know who you're going to get. Your listeners would agree. There are many a restaurant manager who goes home at night, collapses into that easy chair, and just is exhausted from the emotional labor of meeting people's needs and demands. Some people come in and expect just a good meal. Some people want kingly or princely service as part of their meal experience, and even if it's a $4.99 burger. I think the third reason, there's more ways to lose money than make money. Number two, you manage and serve a Freudian smorgasbord of personality. And the third reason is that the hours are long and the competition is very, very stiff. The restaurant business is very unique. If you think about it, both the factory and the store are under the same roof, and that makes it complicated. If you, let's think of an auto parts store. So you walk in an auto parts store, they don't have a factory going on right in the back at the same time, manufacturing oil filters or cans of oil. They get that from separate manufacturing places, shipped to them, inventory is controlled in a warehouse in between, and blah, blah, blah. The food service industry, all the storage, all the prep, all the assembly is done 3 feet away from you, 4 feet away from you, 10 feet away from you, and then delivered to you, customized, every single order customized to you in the front. So it's complicated. I never liked it when, complication makes it challenging because there's so many more things that can go wrong. I never liked it when I've heard people over the years say, "Oh, this isn't rocket science." Yeah, I think it is. Picture Einstein as a fry cook or a waiter. How long would he last?
Yeah, that's a great picture. It's an instant mind grab of what that actually, because the number of things that anybody is juggling at one given time today and all the different inputs that are happening around a restaurant, you've got to be an incredible multitasker just to handle whatever the simplest item on the line is.
Yeah, and people are probably never compensated to what they're worth in that regard. And also, if you think about the industry, there's the other thing that as people's skill sets improve, they tend to move up through the industry. There's a whole set of chain restaurants that are sort of like the single A, double A, or even triple A of baseball. They're the farm teams for developing servers and managers for the future for other brands. Those servers or managers get really good at these certain chains, and then they move up to another chain where they can make more money, generally in a full-serve restaurant. And I don't want to mention particular brands out there so as not to offend the ones I don't mention. But if you think about it, there are single A, double A, triple A, and then major leagues of brands out there, usually full-service restaurants. But each one is a training ground. One is an entry level brand where people first come into the industry, and the better they get, they move on because they have better compensation opportunities than the other brands. So maybe there's a cautionary tale there for those, if you will, single A, double A, triple A farm teams to maybe pay people better where they can, and maybe you keep maybe your turnover problems are not as endemic and prolific as they currently are.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the way technology is moving us forward. We are huge fans, and we follow everything that you write and the nuances that you bring to the industry. And I think all this insight, we're going to just continue to learn more and more about, even as we evolve as leaders and learn to train our folks, that also where those folks will ultimately be replaced by technology. And sort of that age-old struggle, is it, man or technology, which is going to win out in the end?
Yeah, I read a great quote yesterday. They said that the only thing you could always count on would be committees. And here's why. Computers will never replace committees because committees buy computers.
Yes. I think that's great. Jim, it has been such a pleasure to have you on the show today. Let me just ask you to tell our listeners where they can learn more about you and get more information. I think you've got an app out there, you've got books, and all that information funnels through your website, correct?
Yeah, thank you very much for this time. This has really been fun talking to you guys, and hopefully providing some insight or food for thought for your listeners as well, who obviously are the most important people today. Our website is called Sullivision.com. That's SULLIVISION.com. And yes, everything funnels through there. Our books, which you mentioned before kindly, Fundamentals and Multi-Unit Leadership, are available there, along with all of our DVDs, posters, apps, further insight. We have some 72 products there. Or listeners can just go to Amazon and ask for Fundamentals or order Fundamentals or Multi-Unit Leadership. And our app, which you mentioned in the beginning, Quotezilla, we're very pleased with that. Over 110,000 people now download. It's free at both Google Play and iTunes, and it's a collection of over 3,000 really fun, I think, leadership quotes, service quotes, et cetera, et cetera.
You've been on the air with Eric and Robin Gagnon at We Sell Restaurants. Remember, you can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Take a moment, like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/We Sell Restaurants. Remember to follow us on our Twitter handle at Sell Restaurants. We Sell Restaurants is your industry authority and source for information, and we are the restaurant brokers, joined this week by Jim Sullivan of Sullivan. And this is Eric and Robin Gagnon.